My name is Lata Ramchand, and I serve as provost here at the University of Missouri. And it is such an honor for me to be here just to talk about what this event is today. You know, there's so many parts of what we're doing today that are unique, right? I always say the difference between a good university and a great university is not our buildings, not our walls, not our football stadiums, although they're good. It's really the relationships we build, the people that we stay in touch with, the people that we honor. It's those human relationships that form our biggest asset. And today is a perfect example of a couple that has meant so much to this university. They worked here, they served here, they healed people here, they cared about people, they published, they did research, and then they're giving back. But it's not just that. Their friends have decided to honor them through this gift as well. So it's the coming together of so many different parts that to me speaks loudly and clearly that at the University of Missouri, they don't really care how much you know until they know you care. And that's what today is all about. So thank you so much, Dr. and Mrs. Rhodes, for your generosity, for your commitment, for thinking about us as you chose to give. A little bit about the couple that we're honoring today. And I hate to read out of, I'm so bad at reading out of scripts. I never keep to script, but in this case, there's so many accomplishments that I figured I might as well read it. So, Verna Adwell Rhodes, career as a nurse, but also a professor and a researcher who really took the Sinclair School of Nursing and the message about the school around the world. She started with her bachelor's in nursing, went on to get a degree in education, did research in areas that related to oncology and nursing, published. Dr. Rhodes, she met Dr. Rhodes while you were here, I'm guessing. No, maybe not. Oh, okay, even before that. And she was also the first to attend an international conference on what was then called cancer nursing. And Verna and her husband, Dr. James Rhodes, support the school through not one, not two, but 3 endowments. That is truly, truly special. I really appreciate and have a bias in the corner of my heart for anyone who chooses that profession, who chooses to be a nurse. We've all heard this quote, but a few months ago, I lost my dad, and I spent right before he passed away, a week with him in the ICU. And nurses were his life. Nurses made those last few days so memorable. And I remember at that time thinking about a quote that was there in the hospital, which is, when you save 1 life, you become a hero. When you save 100 lives, you are a nurse. But it's not really just about saving lives. It is about the care, the healing, the human touch that you bring to bear on everything you all do. So I am so truly grateful that you have decided to come back and invest in our school. And through your legacy, through your gift, this is going to impact generations to come. It's not just this moment in time. It is way beyond this year, next year, this decade. And the fact that your friends are coming together to honor this is just so special. So thank you once again for your support and your friendship. It means a lot to us. None of this would happen, you all know, without the fact that we have a rock star dean, Dean Sarah Thompson. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dean Thompson.
Thank you, Provost. This is really a very just amazing day in the life of a school and the life of a dean. Yes, we have 3 endowed funds through Verna and Jim, but having an endowed professorship is really the dream of every dean, because it gives us, or a dean, the opportunity to not only honor your legacy and to carry it into in perpetuity, but it also allows us to recruit top talent to the School of Nursing and support that talent. The gift is so important to the lifeblood of Sinclair School of Nursing. I want to say a couple of things on Verna's behalf. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Depends on whether you've read nursing history books. Nursing science is not that old. And so not only did Verna have an amazing career, she's a pioneer in nursing science, one of the very first. She has made an indelible mark on oncology nursing that will never go away. I understand from her colleague Jane Armour that many of our undergraduate students, for example, could not even imagine going on to an oncology unit, but when they had the chance to work with Verna, they were so excited, and then they wanted to work on the oncology unit. But beyond that, her empirical evidence, the tools that she developed and validated, are being used worldwide. So she has made an amazing impact on patients, on families, on nurses, on the future of oncology nursing, and the Sinclair School of Nursing. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because these gifts, as I said, truly, truly make a difference in the life of a school. Thank you, Verna.
So good afternoon, everyone, and I know many of you who were my teachers since I'm here as an undergraduate, master's degree, and a PhD degree. My name is Mei Fu, and I'm an associate professor with tenure at New York University. So in September 1st this year, I will be transitioning to Boston College as a full professor with tenure and an endowed professorship. So I'm grateful to Mizzou, but today I'm going to be here to celebrate Verna's biggest thing for us. So dear Provost Ramchard, Dean Thompson, faculty, students, and friends and family, I'm humbled and honored to join you this afternoon to celebrate the Verna Adwell Rhodes Endowed Professorship in Nursing, another monumental legacy of many created by Professor Verna Rhodes. Here at the Sinclair School of Nursing, that's more important. 24 years ago, when I was a first-year nursing undergraduate, while I was excited about my nursing education, but I'm also worried I have to go to the library every day to borrow the books to read, because I was not able to afford to buy in the books. Just like a God's gift, I received a letter one day before the class stated I was awarded the Verna Rhodes Undergraduate Nursing Scholarship, $500, and that saved me. So because then I bought all the textbooks, now I can read the books whenever I want, and I can highlight, I can also write the notes on my textbooks. And on that same letter, it says, you are encouraged to contact your donor. So I did, at the end of the semester, I wrote a thank you card, and I did not expect anything, okay? I just said, thank you for the $500 I can buy my. But Verna wrote a letter to me and invited me to have a lunch date across the street to the Alumni Center. So it was the lunch date that day totally changed my life, personally and professionally. So when I got home and I told my husband, I said, I want to be Verna. She's everything I want to be. So I am just one of the many students and visiting scholars who wanted to be Verna. This is because Verna epitomizes every quality of a nursing scholar as well as a human kindness. So what is extraordinary to be mentored by Verna? So first, her trust in our ability. Over the past 2 decades, I have had the opportunity to observe and converse with many of Verna's former students and visiting scholars from many countries, whom Verna mentored for years and who are now holding faculty positions in US, in China, and Korea. There are many numerous touching stories that Verna had made a difference in their lives. For them, as well as for me, the most important quality of Verna's wonderful mentorship is that her trust in our ability when early in our nursing education that we have a very little confidence and we have a very limited visions for our professional career. But she foresaw our potentials and encouraged us to go forward and beyond. It is her trust in our ability and personalized guidance that made us successful later in our career. Secondly, a living example who inspires us daily. Like to many of her mentees, Verna has remained a wonderful mentor for me, who has watched every steps of mine and inspired me through her wonderful examples as a successful teacher, mentor, researcher, and scholar. As Dean Thompson said, Verna has advanced symptom science in oncology, specifically symptom assessment. It was in that launch date, Verna opened the magic door of research for me. The instrument she developed has been translated into more than 10 languages and used in 64 countries. To many of us, Verna is our lifetime mentor who remains to be our daily inspiration that encourages us to strive to be an excellent nurse, clinician, and researcher. Third, she's a loving and passionate mentor. Verna has nurtured a lot of nursing scholars and researchers through her loving, dedicating, compassionate, and encouraging mentoring. But her passion has made her willing to embrace a lot of early and inexperienced nursing students, visiting scholars, and early career researchers. The success of many of us in large is due to Verna's exemplar mentoring. So like me, I came to Mizzou 24 years ago as an international student from China, and I did not know anything. But she really opens the door for me to be able to be like today. So in a word, Verna has showed us the beauty of nursing by guiding us through her exceptional knowledge, wonderful advice, love, constant encouragement. She is a living legend of nursing and humankind. The celebration of the Verna Adwell Rhodes Endowed Professorship in Nursing signifies her continuous dedication and passion for Mizzou, as well as nursing and health. But as you all know, all of this cannot be accomplished without unconditional dedication and support from Dr. Jim Rhodes, who is a bonus mentor. Thank you.
I'm Jim Rhodes. this lavish praise for my life is my only comment is that I fell in love with her in high school, and I still am. Just a few comments. I have 2 pages, big print, so don't worry. I believe that many of us who give to colleges and universities understand their importance in a democratic society. I grant that they have weaknesses and faults. Having spent 41 years on this university's faculty, I could name a few. But universities have splendid accomplishments. Their research accomplishments have changed our world. Universities open the eyes of millions of students to what they can become and how they can contribute to a better world. I believe that our institutions of higher education are one of the most effective ways in which we, the elderly, can invest in the future. I also suspect that most of us who are donors are in some way fulfilling an obligation to pay back for what that college or university has done for them. Our payback example, 72 years ago exactly, a skinny farm kid walked through those doors the first time on this campus to enroll in the University of Missouri. I had never been here before. I had ridden a bus to Kansas City and another bus to here, and the bus station used to be by Missouri Methodist Church, so I didn't walk very far. Neither of my parents had the privilege of going to high school. Growing up in the Great Depression, my first 7 years were spent in a one-room schoolhouse. Our high school had 3 teachers. Now that was who did everything: administration, teach, coach, the rest. By the way, there was one important thing I should stress about that school. One of the fellow students was named Verna Adwell. I was planning to attend a college in KC, in Kansas City. One reason was that Verna was going there to do her nurse's training. But I received a scholarship from the University of Missouri, a rather special scholarship. It was a scholarship that would pay $25 a month. Now, peanuts, but in 1947, $25 a month was money, not trifles. $25 a month for 10 months a year for 4 years. As far as I was concerned, I had struck gold. And so I came. Like many of my fellow students, I had to work part-time to pay bills, but the $1,000 was the foundation. Absent that scholarship, this event today would not have occurred. That I can say very firmly. Life worked out that Verna and I had professional careers here in MU in 2 separate areas, nursing and I in agricultural economics. As we early on began to think about paying back as best we could, we decided we should concentrate our gifts in either one of those two areas. I'm sure for Verna that was not a difficult decision. And for me, it really wasn't either. I was quite aware that farmers were a rapidly declining group, that agriculture was industrializing. And while I thought, looking back, that we ag econ people did some good in the world, I really couldn't put it up against what nurses do every year in the world in the way of doing good. And from numerous personal and family experiences with MU Health and MU educated nurses, I learned what Verna already knew, that excellence in nursing is to be treasured. So over the years, we have made modest gifts to MU Nursing. When the professorship honoring Verna was proposed to us 3 years ago, we saw it as a fitting capstone to her long career with its many accomplishments. It has taken us 3 years to get it financed, and we thank those of our friends and family who helped us do that. A final comment. We economists understand a little bit about competition. It is everywhere in a society like ours. We hope that our gift will help Sinclair School of Nursing in its competition with other similar schools across the nation. Competition for research talent and for research grants. We are under no illusion that the need has been met by this single professorship. Sinclair School of Nursing needs a bunch of chairs and professors, and we hope over the next decade that some of those will be provided, perhaps by some of you. We hope that numerous people will invest in the future of the School of Nursing, because it is an investment that yields golden dividends. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you all for coming. We have refreshments, and I'm sure you will want to visit as well. So thank you for celebrating with us. We really appreciate it.